Mother gives birth to triplets, but when doctors see their faces, he cannot believe his eyes. A normal pregnancy can already be one of the most difficult experiences in any woman's life, but giving birth to a triplets takes death to a whole new level, especially when someone is facing this without the father of her babies. But everyone expects that after birth, it will all be fine, but not for Cythia. Before she has even seen her babies, the doctor already has some worrying news for her. But what does the doctor have to tell Cythia? Is something wrong with the babies? Why the father is not there? And what effect will this news have on their relationship? It takes about 4 hours, but then all 3 children are finally born. They are taken away for a checkup before Cythia can even lay her eyes on them. Then the doctor comes, and by the look in his eyes, Cythia can tell that something is not right. Cythia and Johnny Colton were the town's dream couple. They had been together since high school, dated through college, and later on got married. Their relationship had spanned 10 years, and their marriage 5. Everyone thought of them as perfect for each other, and no one more than Nomi. Nomi was Cythia and Johnny's 3-year-old daughter. She looked a lot like her mom, with the dark brown hair and brown eyes. Nomi had recently started kindergarten and loved to play with her friends. Although many of their friends wanted ties and dresses, Nomi had different aspirations. She wanted one thing more than anything else. Nomi wanted more than anything else to have a younger sibling. A dream that she had made known to everyone who would listen to her. She often played or pretended with her dolls and talked about holding babies. Both Cythia and Johnny had considered having another baby, but they just weren't certain it was the right time. Having Nomi was pleasing for the young parents, who loved to spend time with the gleeful 3-year-old. They enjoyed her company and loved her deeply. However, having another child seemed like a whole different matter. They were young and dealing with a shaky economy. It didn't seem financially wise. However, with the success of Nomi, the young couple decided it would not be a bad thing to have another baby. And instead of worrying about the future, they decided it would be best to let fate run its course. If the child was born, then they would certainly love it very much. Since he had reservations about her future with Johnny, she felt their marriage was not stable as she had hoped it would be, and could sense that she was no longer in love with her husband. She struggled to keep these worries at bay, but it wasn't easy, especially with the recent developments. Cythia seemed to have many suitors who admired her at her work and around town. It seemed that were all able to bring spark. She no longer fought for her husband. However, she felt very guilty. She knew Johnny didn't share those reservations about their relationship, but she couldn't fight the feeling. But things were about to get more complicated. One morning, Cythia woke up feeling nauseous. Her body ached, and she felt weak in her knees. She stumbled to the bathroom and found herself turned over the toilet. Johnny was out on the construction site and would not back for hours. Seeing no other option, she called a taxi and headed for the local clinic. Cythia was assigned and seeing the doctor. She explained her symptoms and responded to the questions the doctor asked about her routine that week. After a few questions, the doctor had some shocking news for Cythia. He asked her to lie down and run his final test. Cythia sat on the chair and frowned. She had a feeling she knew what the doctor was about to say, but she held on to the hope that it wasn't true. Finally, the doctor returned and offered a shocking revelation. "You are pregnant." Cythia stared blankly at the doctor, not quite believing her eyes, but there was more news. Not only was Cythia pregnant, but she would also be expecting a little more than a bundle of joy. Cythia was expecting not 1, not 2, but 3 babies. She would be having triplets. The shock was too much for Cythia to handle. The doctor explained that she was likely about a month and a half into her pregnancy. What could she do? Johnny got home a few hours later, and Cythia sat him down and talked about things. Cythia shared the news of the triplets, which got Johnny excited, but then she shared how she truly felt. Johnny was shocked and hurt. The dreams he had of their family growing seemed to be falling apart. Cythia confessed that she had actually been seeing someone else on the side for a full month. She was impressed about her behavior, but she felt sharing this fact would help Johnny see that their marriage was over and help him move on. Johnny couldn't believe his ears. Johnny was furious. How could Cythia do this to their family? Hearing the news made him feel hopeless, and he chose to give Cythia a divorce she wanted. However, they both wanted custody of Naomi and her unborn sibling. The custody battle was long and ugly, but eventually the judge made his decision. A lot of days, Cythia just felt too weak to really undertake anything. She did the best she could, but the pregnancy was taking a toll on her body. She ended up spending most of her time at home with her boyfriend Eric, taking care of her. Naomi helped too, which was way more than a child of Naomi's age should have ended to do. Naomi began spending the weekends with her father. She enjoyed her time with him and his new girlfriend. Cythia felt guilty that she was not able to provide more for Naomi. She was glad Naomi was able to maintain a relationship with her father, but their improving bond still hurt her. She grew more worried for what would happen when the triplets came. The date of birth was approaching rapidly. Eric took Cythia to the hospital primitively because preparing for triplets takes a lot more precaution compared to a normal pregnancy. Naomi was sent to stay with Johnny until the time of birth. Cythia hoped Johnny would not try something crazy. When the labor started, Eric was by her side. Johnny also showed up with Naomi but didn't leave. Cythia felt that she couldn't deny him the right to be there because he very well could be the father. The whole process was shaken up to be very awkward, which made Cythia more distressed, which put more strain on the birth. Cythia didn't get the chance to hold her children after they were born because they were immediately taken into another room for basic testing. Plus, it wasn't like she was able to hold the first or the second while she was still in the process of giving birth. Nevertheless, the situation was just a little bit heartbreaking for her. By the end, Cythia was absolutely exhausted. She was not out of the woods yet because there were still problems to solve. She couldn't even think about the prospect of losing her babies to Johnny. Thankfully, Johnny kept a respectful distance. Cythia tried her best to hold back tears from all the scared emotions she was having.